Hello, Tampa.
Hey.
Hey! You know, it's the 25th of September, and I know it's just a couple of months early, but it kind of feels like Christmas in September, doesn't it?
Yes.
We've got the gift of new nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany. Let's hear it for Lufthansa. Let's get started right now. Let me introduce to you the Chief Executive Officer of Tampa International Airport, Mr. Joe Lopano.
We did it! They said it couldn't be done! We did it! That concludes my remarks. Thank you all for being here. I'm so excited today. I'm actually shaking up here, but this is so important to us as a community to bring an international flight like Lufthansa and to bring a brand like Lufthansa. And so this is really important to us. It connects us to one of the biggest hubs in Europe on one of the greatest brands that there is. So first of all, I just want to start by saying thank you to my board members. I have Robert Watkins, who's our chairman of the board, and our Mayor Bob Buckhorn, who these men have supported us. Let's hear it for them. They have supported us all along the way. And there have been a lot of people who came before us who were on this board, including Al Austin and also Steve Burton, the late Steve Burton. His two sons are here with us, Tyler and Zach. You want to stand up, Tyler and Zach? Let's give them a hand. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you. We also have elected officials with us. We have Hillsborough County Commissioner Al Higginbotham. Al, thank you for being here. State Senator Jeff Brandis is here. Thank you, Senator. And also Nora Henning from the German American Chamber. Thank you, Nora, for being here. So in German, thank you for flying Tampa International Airport. So in German, I say, Guten Abend, Herr Gallet.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah.
So, and thank you for being here. The success we're celebrating today was a team effort, definitely a team effort. All the guys that are up here on the stage are the people who put this together. And I can't thank my Vice President of Marketing, Chris Minner, enough for being the champion behind all this, for bringing these people together. Let's give Chris and his team a big round of applause. So this flight brings close to $100 million in economic impact, many, many jobs. And that's what we're here for, is to bring jobs to this community. But now it's time for us to do something that's more important than bringing the airline here. Let's make this the most profitable flight that Lufthansa has. Yes. Book now, book often.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so this morning, several of us that you see here on stage actually were in Frankfurt to hear this next person speak. That speech was in German, so I've been looking forward all day to the translation, which he assures us we will have now. When you follow Mr. Karl-Ulrich Garnath around the offices of Lufthansa and on his flight, you can see everybody just stands a little bit more at attention. This is a man that knows how to make decisions and a man that commands tremendous respect. He's a wonderful leader, and we're so grateful that he's chosen Tampa as his newest market. Please welcome Mr. Garnath.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. What an introduction. What an introduction. I mean, nothing can go wrong from now on with this good wishes. No, we are really enthusiastic about Tampa as our latest destination here in Florida. We want to be successful, and what does it take to be successful? It takes an attractive market, and I can tell you Florida is extremely popular with German travelers. And so Tampa is the third destination we have here in Florida. And so I told the state senator already, Florida is the only state in the United States where we have 3 Lufthansa destinations. That's great. So you are unique. What else do we have? We know that this is the business center of the Florida West Coast. We know that there are a lot of businesses here who do business on a global basis, and Frankfurt is the perfect spot for them to connect not only to Europe, but also to Asia. And we know it's also true the other way around. What you need, secondly, to be successful is a super product, a super brand, a super airline, and we are proud to say that the flight we have brought into Florida, into Tampa here today, has the latest comfort in seating, in in-flight entertainment, in product we have. We have internet on board, so you can communicate via Twitter and internet with whoever you want, even when you are 5,000 miles or 5,000 kilometers away on the Atlantic. So we have this, and we have, you could see that today, we have people who do brilliant service on board, so I only can encourage you to try it and to fly Lufthansa to Frankfurt and beyond Lufthansa, beyond Frankfurt to the world. And Frankfurt certainly is the Central European hub with the most connections available. Third thing you need a good airport facility, a good cooperation with the airport you are flying to, and we are sure we get all the support we need from the airport in delivering a perfect product, a perfect job for our customers. And the fourth thing you need, and I know that you need support from the community, to build excellent airport infrastructure without a consensus in the community with regard to the importance of air travel for the economy. You cannot do it. And I know here in Tampa, the support is there. Everybody knows what an impact such a flight will have to the local economy, to the ability of travelers in and out, and we are proud to contribute to the future success of Tampa Airport and the West Florida economy by delivering perfect service to your community here. Thank you very much for being here. We are proud to be here. On behalf of Lufthansa, thank you to everybody who supported us in making this possible.
This next gentleman, when he travels with us over in Germany and Switzerland, he is known as Oberbürgermeister. Now to tell us whose time it is, please welcome Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn.
What time is it?
It was great to see the headlines of many of the papers quoting the Holy Father this morning, who said, "It's our time." So the Holy Father obviously has been listening to my speeches for the last 4 years. Carl, first of all, let me say thank you on behalf of a grateful city. We have been working hard for this for quite some time. This team that you see here behind me, and a special thank you to those that may not be on the stage, have worked for probably 3 years to expand Tampa's global footprint. And if you think of the success that we have had, whether it was Copa Airlines or Edelweiss or now Lufthansa, it is because of the hard work of many of you, and particularly this group behind us. They are relentless. We recognize that if we're going to get the business, we got to go get the business. And that means we have to go establish personal relationships with decision makers like Carl all over the world to tell Tampa's story. And we have been telling that story, and it is paying off. This is a place I think that all of us would recognize that is very different than it was 4 years ago, and not nearly as different as it's going to be over the next 4 to 5 years. And expanding our global presence and expanding this airport and reaching out to carriers all over the globe to introduce Tampa to the world and the world to Tampa is absolutely critical to that. And I can tell you that we are well on the way to becoming a global city, whether it's our visit to Ireland or to Israel, to Panama, to Colombia, to Brazil, to the far reaches of the world. We are not shy about telling our story, and it's a story that's resonating all over the globe. And this is one more indication of Lufthansa's belief in us, but more importantly, our belief in ourselves. This really is Tampa's time. Make no mistake, 5 years from now, this will be a very different city, and it's largely because of the efforts of all of you. And Carl, thank you for affirming that. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next speaker joins us from the state of Florida, and it is because of a strong partnership that we're able to support our new flights and make them highly profitable as quickly as possible. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Kimberly Fog. She's the Vice President of Sales for Visit Florida.
Thanks. Well, an official thank you and welcome, big welcome on behalf of the Sunshine State. So what an electrifying day here in Tampa and for all of Florida. It is with a warm heart that we welcome visitors from Frankfurt direct to Tampa. and also want to load the plane to help everyone be profitable. Whether you're a visitor doing business or a resident, Florida is ripe. It is ripe for so many things, as Mayor Buckhorn just shared. A couple of things that I just want to help paint the picture, and the picture would be that this Lufthansa flight helps us with our tourism goals. Our goal is to make Florida the #1 destination in the world. Our objective is $100 billion in tourism spend by the year 2020. So with these near 65,000 seats on this Lufthansa flight, the future looks bright, and we will soar to our success of 100 million visitors. So again, welcome on behalf of all of Florida.
Earlier, Joe Lopano mentioned the strength of our leadership here at the Hillsborough County Aviation Authority, which owns and operates Tampa International Airport. The leader of our leaders is the chairman of our board. Please welcome Mr. Robert Watkins.
What a great day to be in Tampa Bay.
Yes, sir.
And I just wouldn't be fair if I didn't make a point that we've got one of the best airports in the world. We also have one of the best mayors in the world, and I'd like to give him another round of applause. Most of the expansion you see in this city and the proud nature of what we're doing wouldn't be the same without Bob Buckhorn. He is certainly our biggest cheerleader, and I've worked with him time and again, bringing more and more business here. We are thought of very well around the world, in large part because of him. So again, thank you again. Like I said, it's a great day to be here. These are very uplifting times for Tampa Bay and for Tampa International Airport. I can't imagine a more exciting time to be chairman of the board, so I feel very lucky to be here. Since I've been on this board, we've successfully launched international flights to Cuba, Switzerland, Panama, and now Germany. Our CEO, Joe Lopano, and his team, in concert with our partners in this community, and these people worked very hard to pull this off today. They're doing wonders. Joe encourages here a team approach that manifests itself in positive attitudes among all our employees and a culture proudly dedicated to the best customer service anywhere. We're going to keep it that way, and thanks to his leadership, we're going to do that. Together with our community partners, we're building the future of this airport and helping to support the bright future of the Tampa Bay region. These new flights reinforce our commitment to make Tampa International Airport even better, and that's what we're doing with a historic expansion that's underway right now. As a result of these projects, we'll be able to double the airport's capacity, and it will still be the easiest airport in the country to use. The future here is bright, couldn't be brighter, and I am very proud and privileged to be a part of it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman Watkins. Let's see, the next three speakers that you're going to hear from, they take this job very seriously of filling the front end of the airplane. I'd like to introduce first Mr. Rick Homans. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the Tampa Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation.
So, very briefly, this flight today is going to help us to grow jobs here in Tampa Bay. It's going to help the 75 to 100 German companies that are based here do business in their home country. It's going to help us recruit headquarters and other companies because air service is such a vital issue, an important issue for these companies. And it's going to help our existing companies here expand their markets. Just on the plane with us today, one of the chief executives from Masonite, chief executive from Inspirata, one coming from Kuala Lumpur, the other coming from India, and saying this flight is going to help them grow their business and grow jobs. Another just brief story to give you a little bit of the dimension is last night we had dinner. We sponsored an event with the American Chamber of Commerce at which the chairman of Audi spoke. And sitting next to me was a gentleman who was the CEO of the major forklift manufacturer in Europe. And as we were talking about Tampa, he said, you know, my uncle lives in Tampa. And he actually comes to the airport and he plays the accordion when the Edelweiss flights come in. And Chris Minner came over, and he showed this gentleman a picture of his uncle here in Tampa. And I just wanted to introduce Helmut Drews, who's a devoted... And this just gives you an example of how small the world is and how important relationships are and how critical it is for us to, as the mayor says, to plant the international flag around the world, because as we build the relationships, we build business, and that's what's going to help make our community succeed and Lufthansa succeed. Thank you very much.
And I believe, actually, that she just arrived, State Representative Janet Long. Did I see? Oh, County Commissioner Janet Long is right here. Thank you, Commissioner, for being here. Next up, I'd like to invite a man who actually has a city in Germany named after his family. This is Mr. Bob Rohrlach. He's the CEO of the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce.
I was just asked if the city is called Bob. No. There's really not much more to say that hadn't already been said. This airport is a key economic driver for our region, and it pulls our region together, which makes us stronger than anywhere else, not just in Florida, but around the world. And that's one of the key things. But besides being a new airline in town, there's a new frequent flyer card in town. Right. You all need to get it and wear yours out like mine's worn out, and it's an old frequent flyer card. So we need to support this airline and all the other airlines here. This is what makes our economy grow, having something like this airport. So congratulations to Lufthansa.
All right. Now, for, I'm sure, a very brief history lesson about commercial aviation, the Chief Executive Officer of the St. Petersburg Chamber of Commerce, please welcome Chris Steinacher.
All right, well, on behalf of everybody in St. Petersburg and Pinellas County, I want to, first of all, thanks to the Lufthansa folks and the whole Tampa International team. This is how you expand a market, is by working together, by bringing good business here to our community. But you know, it was our chambers that over 100 years ago, the St. Pete Chamber of Commerce, 101 years ago, created commercial aviation. We worked with those willing to put up some resources, willing to bring planes to our community, and we filled them up, and that's what we're going to continue to do. I'm very pleased to see Commissioner Long here. We are about to go back on Lufthansa in November with AmSkills, which is a new process that we've adopted here in Pinellas and Pasco County to help train our workers, to help build relationships with those manufacturers. So while the party may begin, the hard work will never stop. We are going to continue to grow the business relationships, and we're off to a good start. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Partnership is so much fun, especially when you get to travel all over the world, literally from the tip top of Europe all the way down to the bottom of South America. And this next gentleman has been a steadfast partner for all of us at Tampa International Airport in bringing in our nonstop flights. Please join me in welcoming the Executive Director of Visit St. Petersburg Clearwater, Mr. David Downing.
Thank you very much. Usually, I admit, when I get off on a 10.5 or 11-hour flight, I'm just ready to go home, but I am jacked right now.
Yeah.
We can do this every day. No, seriously, thank you, Chris. And again, I'd like to point out something Joe touched on just a bit ago. He said the word community, and this is a community that makes this happen. My boss, one of my bosses, Pinellas County Commissioner Janet Long is here. Next to her, we have Mike Meidel. He's the Director of Economic Development for Pinellas County, too. Yeah, please. This is getting old hat, but this is great, that we get together and we say these things are happening because this group comes together and says this should happen. This is how we're going to grow this area as a region, not as Pinellas and Hillsborough separately, but together. So I'm super excited. We've been in Germany for 30 years. We've had representation for tourism for 30 years. We've developed it as the #2 market for us internationally without direct service. I think we've just gone from a manual transmission to an automatic transmission because we have 5 and 6 flights a week coming at us, and I think this is just the beginning of much more to come. I just want to say thank you again to all of our friends at Lufthansa, all of our friends at Tampa Airport, the Airport Authority, the mayor, our friends at Visit Florida, my friend Chris Steinacher, too, from the St. Petersburg Chamber of Commerce. We're very happy to be here. We look forward to many more days just like this. Thank you.
So while David is promoting our beautiful beaches, this next speaker is responsible for promoting all that Hillsborough County has to offer, including our beautiful city and all of the destinations, but I'll let him tell you about that. He's Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Visit Tampa Bay. Please welcome Patrick Harrison.
So if I'm the final speaker, I'm the keynote. So 30 minutes quickly now. On behalf of Santiago Corrado and the rest of the Visit Tampa Bay team, both those here in the audience and those who I understand are still working this evening, I want to thank all the partners you see up here and welcome everybody to Tampa Bay. Germany is one of our top 3 audiences, and it's not just that first flight straight into Frankfurt that provides opportunities, it's the fact that it now connects us with the rest of the world. Today's flight alone had passengers from 45 different destinations. This has just opened the world. This is a complete game changer for Tampa Bay. So from both Hillsborough County and Pinellas, I think we are going to see a whole new day, a whole new industry, a whole new business. You guys better keep your eyes open. It's going to be a fun ride. Thank you.
And now it's time for some tradition, which is fun, right? Over the last 4 years, Tampa International Airport has doubled the number of international passengers arriving and departing at this airport, which I think is a really remarkable feat. But part of how we celebrate that is our chief executive giving a ceremonial token to our chief executive officer visiting. So please welcome back, Joe.
Thank you, Chris. Yes. Paul?
Yeah.
This is a box of... Oh. Right here. This is a box of hand-rolled cigars from Tampa, Florida. Just so you know, Tampa was the largest cigar manufacturing city in the world at one time. And this is presented to you, and hopefully you'll enjoy these cigars in good health.
Thank you very much, Joe. I just mentioned I just quit smoking 5 years ago. But I promise that I will start again when I'm going at 70, because then it doesn't matter. Thanks a lot. That's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, here's another famous American product which is in proper use with our company. This is a Boeing 747-8. It's really my favorite aircraft, I have to say. And it's painted in the traditional Lufthansa livery. And this is a kind of token of appreciation to you, Joe, for having us here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Actually, I used to work, I worked for Lufthansa for a little while, and it was a very proud time in my life. And this airline and this brand is the top in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, as I know how important the mayor is in the development of the area, of course, Mayor, I have Herr Oberbürgermeister, I have this for you, and enjoy it and give it a proper display in your office.
Indeed, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Thanks.
That's all, folks. Please enjoy some...